Welcome, I'm Bill Wake. We're working on a financial planning app for medium to long-term stuff, and we've added the notion of assumptions so you can set interest rates or return on investment or inflation or other rate-based things. And we'd like to add the same capability for date-based assumptions. So, well, we took a look yesterday, it didn't get very far. All right, at the end of the day, I guess it wasn't that long on it. We started creating a test. Oops. Okay, and I was hoping we could make data assumptions borrow a lot from the percent assumptions that we've already done. And we tried doing a generic, and that kind of fell apart. And there are differences, to be fair. So I guess we'll just make our own data assumptions and go from there. Okay, so the test. This test is really it's really data assumptions, track, new assumptions. Okay, so we'll create one. We said it was changed to property to false. And then we're going to add one. Well, it has a name, that's fine. It also has a current value, but we need a min and a max too. And I think, do I need the month? I don't think so. Let's look at percent assumption, min, max, current. Okay, let's follow the same there. Let's say min, and I think it's worth labeling them when they're same type and mean different things. Max and current. Okay. And they have a name. So just like our assumptions, we're going to put them up, give you a slider to control what that is. Okay. And then after you've added something to the collection should be marked as changed. And we should be able to find that date in the list. It's a pretty mild assertion. Okay, and we put this up here. Let's just start with the Boolean. Public, I guess, is it public private set was changed of Boolean. I'm assuming I can set it to, so I guess I should just make it public. I don't think it'll be a problem. I'll just start at false. Okay. And then we need a initializer. So if I add the fields, I don't think we need that. Well, I don't even need that then. And let's compare. Assumptions. Oh, they do start false. Okay. Okay, is that enough to run the test? Oh. Well, I think I'm defining date assumption here. And he's just a struct. Okay. Okay, date assumptions has no member add, does no member find. And I'm going to steal those again. Well, I'll just zap them out. Okay. Oh, yeah, we can do string. Sorry, I'm going to keep bouncing around. I think, yeah, these are all bars there. Okay. And we need to assign it. Oh. Yeah, I published last night, and hopefully we can, remember that I can get together and talk it through. See what we have to do for next week, if anything. All right, so we have to have this collection of assumptions. So when you have your list of assumptions, we have something to populate it. So that'll do that. And you need to find it when you want to use it. So that's why it's there. It doesn't seem like you're running this test. Well, completely doesn't seem like it. Have I not? No, put it in the tests. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So it should, well, we've set it to false. If you're adding it, Well, you certainly should mark it changed. And if you're adding it, we should have the assumptions. We should add that there. And then we should look for assumptions dot first where the name equals name. And let's go on to our next test. Remove an assumption, okay. And I don't know, we should almost be able to pull this like that. And we'll use that same verb they did, remove. Assumption, this is date. Oh, come on. Make assumptions. I think that's how we do it. Yep. And we need the name. I don't know if I ran that test first. Oops. Well, glad you're catching up. Let's take this and, well, I don't know if it'll catch it or not. Okay. All right, and then replace, okay. We don't have verified, we don't have load. Oh, so this is a new constructor as well. Okay, so he kind of copies everything and then lets it go. Okay. Can I do this? Okay, we didn't say it was changed. Well, we didn't do anything really. I think, again, I'll just steal code. And verified. Okay, I think, well, other than the load, which we'll get later. Okay. I think we have enough to do do some GUI work at least. Actually, we'll need just like we added growth to Leia, we need to add an assumed date to our possible dates. Let's close to the right. And we'll get DateSpecifier. So right now you can say your date's unchanged, self equals base. Yeah, I believe that's right, because value objects just can copy fields directly. Does it seem too weird? I don't know. I don't see enough other people's Swift. I catch John Reed's show when I can on Sundays, and then Paul Hudson on Hacking with Swift and occasional CodeGo stuff. Yeah, I probably could. All right, so we added. And I should really pull that in its own file too. New data assumption, updated constructor for percent assumption. Yeah, I think that's right. I think it does look better, assuming the semantics are right. Okay, when I say push, why are you not pushing? I noticed this yesterday and didn't quite track down what was going on. I'll double check that I'm hitting the right push, but that shows no changes. Okay. Oh, percent assumption, data assumptions. Okay, so let's pull these out. I think I have to do that. Did I do that? I think that is private. All right, we have to make an explicit constructor. Well, it doesn't have to do anything, so make him public. I don't know why. Well, I guess I do know why, because it creates a default init for you, but it makes it whatever you call it, internal, the default. You know, it's a default blank, not default public. So that's kind of annoying. I think I just fixed that. Yeah, I believe I am. Yep. Now I know I said commit and push. Xcode, what if you do a... Why this still says push? It's just... I didn't think I took an update. I don't know what happened. All right, let's work on adding this to DateSpecifier. Okay, we have unchanged, we have month, we have age, but we don't have assumptions. And all we need for the assumption is the name. Well, we'll have to work around that, but okay, so we're adding a new case that won't affect the persistence side. It just doesn't have any instances with assumption, so it never tried to use it. But all these have to do it. Wow. Okay, this is going to be tricky. Update using date. Does anybody call this right now? Because I think we might have gotten rid of this functionality when we took the ability to, if you had the same name multiple times, it would just take the latest data, but I don't think we're using that now. Right, we're defining it, and we got several tests for it, but that functionality is dead. And I know that crossed my mind at some point. I didn't write it down and didn't pursue it. Good. All right, so date specifier, description. Effective start. All right. I think we're kind of in the same boat with people. Where would it be? Leia would have an example of using assumptions. Maybe. Yeah, so Leia has to use percent assumptions. I think our date specifier is going to have to use the real assumptions too. Okay, do we have enough information? GitHub has latest code, some extra strangeness. Yeah, I don't think I've changed anything on the GitHub side. I don't touch that very often. I look inside, but I don't really change it there. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't think I updated Xcode. I probably have updated the system, maybe. I don't know. Maybe that triggered something, but it seems weird. Okay, so we're going to need some tests. I guess effective start. Yeah, we need to know that. If we have a relative number in the description, certainly. And then greater or equal. Okay. But I think to compute that, we're going to have the date assumptions is going to have a shared to get to it. Okay, a date specifier. Well, that's not the one I wanted. I don't know, I just like the test on the left. Oh. Okay. Get us some space here. Alrighty. So, description, yeah, let's use let's start there. And we also have these equatable. I think we got it for free. Yeah. Okay, so let's add the case. Okay. All right, so now we'll add this. Description needs to know we're just going to get ourselves through everything. This test should fail. I guess I should, no, date specifier's got to be in the right place. Yeah. Okay. That's the only failure. Oh, I guess because it's auto-generated, it knows what it's doing, and that's fine. Okay. Okay, so that's equatable, but description. I think that'll work. Now we may, actually we'll have to do like this person one. Okay. Description. Okay, good. Well, the test with person, see, they had to do found and not found. And I think that's right because, well, I guess with yeah, okay. Yeah, I think that's would probably be good for us too. So, now is this the set? I guess it is. Now we could put the current value in there too. Oh, we have to make one. Okay. Yeah, the description for it. Yeah. Let's do it. Colon equals. Yeah, I think that's all right. It will fail. I'm going to make that required for now. I still have a quote. Currently, current dot. Okay, and then if it's not found, yeah, I guess we don't have to do a lot of work for that. see up here? Person not found. Okay. Okay. So if it's found, it's going to be kind of like this case. And I guess I will assume January. We're going to do the same thing here. Well, maybe I should do. Do I do them backwards? I do. And let me do that up here too. Okay. Now not found. I think it should be like this one. Wow. Test it and then decide. Hopefully got 1919, yes. Okay. Okay, so this case is a little funny, I think. GEQ. If the current month is greater than or equal to well, I guess it should look like this, but you got to get the effective end. Okay. got to set up all this. And let's find another GE. I don't know if we have a GEQ test. Don't remember seeing one. Oh, there it is. Nope, that's this. Is somebody using this? Okay, we're looking at a concrete month versus this. Let's check. Is that the right way to do it? No. I think we want. Okay, he should be greater than or equal to 2040.January. No, he should be greater than that. I think. I think 101 will fail. Yeah. Okay, so we need to do just default to false if it's not found. Otherwise, This seems like something that needs some refactoring. I should make that true. Assumption SS start greater than or equal to 24 January versus 24. Feeling a little fuzzy brained here. Let's break at the start of the test. Make sure we put that in there properly. Okay, that's a little suspicious. We're not cleaning up in our tests. But we only find the first one that matches. Okay, so at any rate, it should come up with an assumption, right? Okay. Effective end should be 2040.jan. And month year 2040.jan. Oh, greater or equal. Okay, so we tested. Let's also make sure 2039 December is the way we expect. 2040 should be greater than or equal to 2039 December. And this is the case of the found assume date. Let's check the other case. We want to always return false, just to be consistent, I guess, or something. All right, so if the date specifier is missing, greater than or equal to 9/10 or January, we want false. We should get true the way the code is now. All right, now I did mention refactoring. I'm not sure we can do it exactly how I'd like to. All right. I'll just close that for now, DateSpecifier. Well, what I'm seeing is this pattern of getting the effective and the current from this. Okay, so we do it there. We do it there. Okay, so yeah, let's pull this into a method on date assumptions. And I guess we're still gonna get something nullable back, but we should get a month year. And then I won't have two places doing month year January, which seems like not really date specifier's problem. Okay, so I guess it's date assumptions dot shared dot current date. Okay, we put the assumption in. I'm going to assume that's right. And then if I say sut current for holiday should be equal to 2025.jan. Okay. just some junk so we can test. The test should fail. Gets a random. Okay, so if we find the name, we should return month, year, January, and assumption.current. All right, so now DateSpecifier should be able to use these. Does he use them the same? I think it'll work out. Okay, this one we kind of don't. I guess we gotta use find there. All right, but this one we can just say assumptions dot current of name. I think letting this be assumed to be 1900 should be okay. Be used in a non-local scope. Attribute public. Well, I lost a brace. Yeah. Oh, I picked the one number that. Yeah, we did description up here. So SS start currently 2040 is what we should see. Now we don't have a way to put them in yet, so it's kind of in practical sense it's not there, but extract and move method to get current value even if not found. I should say with default. I just noticed there's a little button that said amend 16BF89. Maybe I have to check that and it defaults checked and I bumped it or something. I don't know. Okay. That deals with the model side of things, I think. Other than loading, we haven't dealt with that yet. But we're going to need to go to the view to make sense of things. So let's find the DateSpecifier view. And then there's an edit. Well, we'll have to see. Yeah, we'll have to edit assumptions too, won't we? Okay. Let's see if our preview will work. So this thing also has the 3 categories and we'll need a new one. So we'll add that. Well, I hate to touch it while it's building. It's going to be a while. So we need assumption equals assumed date. Expected identifier after common. I think that's okay. But yeah, down here we have to do something. Update date spec. I'm going to say break for the moment. and get things in there. Syntax error. Cases inside a switch should always be on a new line. Yeah. That is not a syntax error. I guess I can't put a trailing comma. Is that what the problem is? Okay. Yes. Yeah, I mean, both can make sense. I don't want to start Social Security until a certain age, or I'm going to stop taking Social Security when I die at a certain age. So either end could be relative or assumption based. Yeah, this takes forever. And there's just, okay, fine, you finally got there. Now, whether the order is right, I don't know. Okay, but we have something to work with. Okay. So, all right, so now whoops. Okay, so we would get this unknown wrapped thing here. I got to remember how this thing works. So we're binding into a date spec. We're just trying to display it. Or is it editing? I guess these are editing too. Okay, unchanged. Now what is month year in this? I don't know why I've been inconsistent. Now this date assumptions dot shared dot current of name. Okay, so set the current chosen date based on that. Update date spec. Month year. I'm losing my types here. Date specifier type. Oh, date specifier. Okay, so this should be date spec equals date specifier dot assumption from, well, there should be a name here somewhere, but there isn't. Oh, so I think this is really name equals name. So if you come in with a given date specifier, you should set your type to the right column or right toggle tab, and your value to the name that's there. And then if they change to a date specifier type, or if they want the date specifier type from it, date specifier assumption of name, I guess. Okay, let's run this with it. Oh, because I did that here. I think it should be okay. All right, this one's the one I wanted. Okay, so this is a selector, so we need to be a selector too. So we'll have to, we'll put we'll say like assumed date and then the name, and that should be okay. All right, let's take a break though. End date before start date, sliding a date assumption. Yeah, I mean, well, I think it'll be a confusion more than a problem, because I think what'll happen is when things ask if a month is included in a range that's backwards like that, it'll say no, I don't fit in that range. So most of the time it'll just sort of fall out and do nothing. Yeah, if your death date's before you're born, we don't have time travel, so something should be a little weird. But I think you're not going to know, like you're not going to have any tie between these two date handles to recognize that they're both coming, from it forming a single range together or something, and so as long as it works in the sense of zeroing out, I don't think it'll be an issue, but we'll have to check that. All right, anyway, let's take that break, 3 or 4 minutes, then we'll come back and modify the editor part of this, so we can change that name based on what we have. All right, see you in a few. Welcome back. All right, so we need a selector. I don't know if it's worth pulling out a class for this or not. It almost always is. All right, let's pull it out. So we need a date selector view, assumed date view. Okay. And he's going to have to give us name. Date spec. Date spec is the binding, right? Yeah. Well, I guess we could give him maybe the date spec's okay. So assumed date view. Okay. All right. Assumed date month here's that. Well, it's just going to be a picker, right? So quite sure if I'm selecting on the right thing here. Name. And this is, well, I bet there's a better version of picker I can use. Well, I just had to iterate, I guess. Those should be date assumptions. Okay, we don't have the conformance. All right, so let's go to date assumptions. If we compare to percent assumptions, we have an iterator, make iterator. And then I think we're going to need identifiable on our assumptions. Have we already got the complaint? Oh, he's building. Yeah, data assumption conform to identifiable. Oh, and random access collection. Codable. I think sequence might be enough for that. And sometimes you can't tell where the errors are, but I think data assumption if we compare to percent assumption, he's got this and that. Now the problem is if this is not, still not happy. For each requires date assumptions to conform to random access collection. We need stridable. Or conform to stridable or implement indexing. Now we did stridable somewhere. Oops. Month here was stridable. what's going on here? So percent assumptions sequence was good enough. So let's find the percent view. No, that's not the editing of it. I guess it's layout view maybe has growth. Oh, I created passed it as an array. Okay, that explains it. Now that can't be a problem. No exact methods or patches. All right, I'm going to put it back to a text view for a moment. The error goes away. Assumed date view, date spec. Assumed date view has a date spec. Oh, let's start this way. Now we had a default assumption for percents that was none. We don't have a default date. And so we're picking a date that's not in the list of the array, and that's a problem. Okay, we can address it, but I think it's a runtime problem. Oops, left this as text. Okay, let's go down and edit that thing. Okay, assumed date. Oh, that's really... Where's that coming from? Assume date. Oh, we had to put the no name on the picker. Okay, so that's coming down here. That's weird. And nothing. All right, well, maybe we got to address the issue. If date dot assumptions dot shared dot count dot count is good. Okay, anyway, if the count is 0, what is that view called? Unused, empty, not empty view. There's a view to use with collections that are empty. Content unavailable view. I think there's title and image and description. I think that's one of these. Well, actually, we had a little warning box before. Pretty sure we've used it in this project. Yeah. This is fine. Oh, I don't have count. Okay, so that should get us as far as the unavailable content, and I don't know, we got extra text that shouldn't be visible. Okay, I don't want this text in there if we're doing that. Okay, now also the height should be the same across these. I don't know where that's enforced. And it's not desperately important, but okay, this is, and then, picker is not appearing. Okay, well, I have the opposite problem. Labels hidden, that's it. Okay, so we'll have the content on available view. Should look okay, but we need to get something in there. And I think we'll just hard code something for a minute here. All right, this, assume date. Oh yeah. Okay. And let's go here. Nope, here. I'll just make this temporarily. Now that's, I think that's actually redundant, but this is there, so we selected that. Okay, so now that should show right. Assume date blank not found. So we're not storing something properly. Oh yeah, we didn't save anything in that dialogue. Okay. Where are we? Oh yeah, here's that picker thing. The selection is invalid and has no tag. I don't know if that means I should not define it. Yeah, well, we'll need to do this on change of person. We started it with blank, or I don't know if we should be accepting. Data assumption conform to hashable. We didn't have to for that. I don't know. I'm no, that's full. Okay, we do people tag with an ID. Selection is person. Okay, I guess by analogy, we should be selecting our actual date assumption. What do we call it? Shared? None? No. This doesn't need to because people I don't understand why ours does and this one doesn't. Date assumption. Now maybe people Person does. He does. Let's put that on date assumption. It's kind of weird. When he doesn't like what I'm doing in Assume Date View, he complains over in the other one without explaining. Okay, it looks like the complaint went away. No, I'm still not updating. Okay, so yeah, on change of person, which is the selected one, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. So if somebody selects something different, we're going to trigger into this and change the original date specifier. Okay. Well, which for temporary purposes, let's add another one. Yeah. And maybe, I don't know, he's kind of not normally visible. Okay. I just want to have two in the list so I can see selection working or not working. We obviously need to add a selection section in our date view, but we're a ways. Oh, still got that text in there. All right, so now this, oh, should change, but he does not. Okay. Okay, I'm going to compare this one. He's got the picker on change of person, update values. That's the person selector. Yeah. We only have one choice, so Oh, here we go. Message. Name none is invalid. Does not have an associated tag. Item is invalid. Does not have an associated tag. How is that possible? Everything in that list. I mean, he's going to have an ID. I don't see how there wouldn't be. I mean, it gets set here by default, right? Like if that doesn't have one, I don't see why the other one has one. Well, where's data assumptions? Let me break here. That's weird too. So something's not getting set, but okay, let's look at assumptions anyway. Couldn't look up symbols. Well, they're both there. They both have IDs. What's going on? All right, well, that kind of seems okay. Is there something about how I'm selecting? Selection. Oh, maybe when it's coming in. Right, so when we first start data assumption null, default value set the state that can't be changed. Yeah, the trick is, like, we don't care what the state is if there are no variables for sure. But, I mean, we could... If the list is empty, what happens? Let me make that happen. Okay. Oh, date assumption. Okay, so now we're going in with nothing. Assume date unavailable. Do we get the message? No. Weird to me. Okay, so in this case, we don't ever call the, we don't ever create the picker. So I guess that error message we were getting was coming from the picker. I think what his problem is he looks at that initialized value and he says, I don't get it. There's no null. Well, no, it's got to have the same thing. I don't know. Okay, so, and we can't add any assumptions yet, so that makes it kind of hard to work with. But my thought was somehow when you come in here, is this null the same? Oh, it's not. It's not. Okay, I know what's going on. I'm not sure the... Right. So I think... This is like a lazy init, which I always had to look up. But there's a way to do it where you create... Is it like this? Is that it? So you create the value as a closure that gets called. Is that gonna work? There's also the keyword lazy, so I'm not sure the difference. I should probably learn that. Right, if you do lazy this, you do need to declare with var. Okay, so I think I can just say lazy. According to that, right? Lazy var something equals something. So that says don't initialize it till the first time, and then don't initialize it after that, I believe. Okay, so let's... Oh, but it doesn't like static, or... It contains it. Unfortunately, his Too much work. All right, this is the one, the way I saw it. Yeah, so. Closure is called once when the type containing it is initialized, the return value is assigned. I hope that's all that does. So I think it calls the closure the first time and then assigns it and then leaves it assigned. Okay, and I believe we're assumptions have the list again, so we'll see the error. Well, hopefully we don't see the error now. I don't know. I'm just not twigging into. Nah, that's not good. Boom. Oh no, breakpoint. Good. No. Date assumption ID none is invalid, does not have a tag. That's a different message. All right, maybe I should break here again. I don't know if I close this and open it, I might trigger it. Okay. One two oh AB 097 1895. That all sounds like the same thing. But I don't think that's. We're tagging these. Selection. Let's see if it actually works before I go too far on this. Assume date blank not found is not promising, I will say. I can't tell if it really changed. It default. No. Okay, I'm not sure where to pick it up. It's empty date. All right, let's look for that. Yeah, let's try it. Oh, good point. Yeah, since that won't match. I'm more puzzled by why we're getting a date not found and not putting the name in the output. Selection name none is invalid. Well, it's something. It's got to be the unique value, but I don't know what would make it tie ID to. I mean, like this, right, is going to be bad if the array has two things with the same name. Not saying it should happen, but it 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 somehow could. Whereas ID should be unique. And it looked like the null ID was the same in both. So I'm moderately puzzled by that. I'm also kind of not wanting to let go of this. I got assumption, let name. Somebody must be defaulting it to an empty string. Assume date name not found. Got a lot of these. Okay. Is that? Is that the name that's messed up? I don't even think he needs this name. Oh, somebody does. Assumption, DateSpecifier, not assumption. Well, this is actually a break because we like age, we make sure that we update the date spec on the way out. So I don't think that's relevant. All right, well, that gives us something to investigate next time. I'm a little struck how hard it is to get this initialization right. That didn't help. Okay. We will pick it up there. I mean, this is not being set either, so there's definitely something not connected, and maybe if we get it connected, that'll fix things. All right. Well, it's been a good week. We got those other assumptions working fully. We got the turning things on and off, which I think is a major thing. Should associated date view take a date spec or a name? I believe he should take the date spec. I mean, but maybe there's an initializer missing. I would say there is an initializer missing. Okay. Let me make a to-do here. Init for assumed date view populated from date spec on the way in. Okay. Something like that. All right. Anyway, we'll pick it up there Monday and have a good weekend. I'll catch you then, 2 to 4:30 Monday or 6 to 8:30 p.m. UTC. I will be away in a couple of weeks, but I should be home or here next week all week. Thanks. Bye-bye.